Hello everyone, I am Huma Sufyan. I am a career Naksha and Counselor of India community manager. We welcome Pooja Oberoi. Pooja Oberoi is a certified health fitness, wellness and a life coach working with YMCA, which stand for Youth Development Healthy Living for Social Responsibility Club in Edison, New Jersey. She has a experience in personal training, transforming life skills in youth, counseling, nutritional coaching, exercise, recovery, mindfulness, and meditation. Health coaching conducting live webinars and workshops for local communities on stress management, anger management, mindfulness and parenting, etc. She has an overall experience of more than 14 years in healthcare and wellness industry. Welcome, Pooja ma'am.
Thank you,
The,
dear, so much.
now the show is yours. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you very much, dear, and thank you so much for giving this wonderful opportunity. And I welcome you all. And yes, I'm in New Jersey. It's a nice cold weather, and I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. So we are all in the mood of Thanksgiving and celebrating a long weekend. But yeah, it gives me a great pleasure to interact with you all and being with this team. It's been really a wonderful journey from the time when I came to know about this session and the work which you all are doing for this community and the society. I mean, it's really truly remarkable. So thank you so much. Well, moving ahead, yes, the topic which I'll be talking and sharing with you is my own favorite topic. That's realization in the here and now, the power of mindfulness. So before I begin with this session, it's not going to be too boring, where it's just going to be presentation. It's going to be more of activity based, and we will understand more in concept, but at the same time the conceptual understanding will be with some practical experience. So let's begin with a very simple activity. I'm sure everyone knows what meditation is. So let's have a quick drill, maybe of 3 minutes. Yeah, wherein I will request you, to, all of you. So, this activity basically we will have in two segments. One is we do a simple meditation wherein the music will be played. There will be no guided meditation to this. You will just close your eyes and meditate. Okay, so that's one task. I repeat it again. You will close your eyes and you will meditate for 3 minutes with the music being played on the background. And second will be a simple 3 minutes mindful meditation. So before we jump into the topic, let's understand what it is with this simple activity. So let the music be on, and I request all of you to very gently close your eyes and breathe. Okay, so let's do for another time this activity wherein the music will be played and we will do a mindful meditation of breath. Yeah, so let's start, and as we proceed, we will understand the concept more in detail, and you will actually be able to differentiate between what is a mindful meditation and a normal meditation. So let's start again. I request all of you to please close your eyes and let's follow. So I request all of you to please be seated in a very comfortable position. Sit in a very, very comfortable position and very, very gently close your eyes and breathe. So I request you all to please close your eyes and breathe. Be very, very comfortable at the moment and just breathe. Breathe in and out through your nose. Choose a gentle, easy, and a steady breath. Take your time with each breath in and spend at least as much as time with each breath out. Find the breath that reflects all the qualities of calm, patience, spaciousness, and ease that we will like to see in the mind. The intention for this meditation is the noticing of your breath. So, we commit right here and right now to holding the mind's attention on the breath. And we hold not with tightness or a grasping, but with spaciousness, as if 25% of awareness is on the breath, 25% of awareness on whether or not we are still watching our breath, and the remaining 50% of our efforts relaxed and open. We stay with this gentle, easy breath, noticing the breath in whatever way it chooses to speak to us. The sound of our breath moving in and out through the nose, perhaps there is a temperature to the breath, a cool breathe in and a warm breathe out. Open to noticing a smell or a taste to the breath, and or noticing the felt sensation of the breath. How does the breath feel as it moves in and out through your nose? How does the breath move and feel in your body? How are you feeling at the moment? Notice the moment of inhale expansion and exhale letting go. Notice the lift of the chest when we breathe in and the release of the shoulders, belly, thighs as we breathe out. A sense of upward lifting, lightness with breathe in, and a sense of grounding, rooting towards the earth as we breathe out. Continue to follow the breath. Allow the breath to draw your attention inwards in whatever way it does. Breathe as the most integrating thing you have ever seen. Curious about the breath, its movement, its energy, and whatever arises, keep returning to the intention of noticing the breath again and again, allowing the breath to draw you in. And all the remain while you remain still open, still spacious, and still free. Now, as the music will go low, I would request you all to very, very gently open your eyes. Feel the awareness of your room, of your surroundings. You may tap your fingers, you may wiggle your toes. Yes, I hope everyone enjoyed and were regenerated with this wonderful mindful meditation. And I'm sure that with this activity, you all must have sensed somewhere the difference rather, between a normal meditation and what we call as mindful meditation. We will discuss on this. I would like to take your feedback on this once our session is done in our last 10 minutes of our session. So let's move ahead. What do you normally think or the thoughts when you meditate? What are the thoughts which come to your mind when you meditate? It's very, very common and it's very, very natural. If we tell you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and meditate, what do you think? What will be your thoughts? You may wonder, what should I eat for breakfast? I should not fall asleep. I should just breathe. Or rather, why am I doing this? Is this uncomfortable for me? What is this noise happening behind me? I wonder if my phone is ringing. Am I getting any messages on my WhatsApp? Yes, I'm sure these are the thoughts which normally come up to in our mind while we meditate. So, if I ask you this question, most of our times, most of our activities which we do during our day, are you both physically and mentally present all the time? If you see, you are present. We do our activities in autopilot mode, which we will discuss it soon. We say that, you have to be physically and mentally present. What do you mean by that? Many a times we do activities, say you're driving from destination A to destination B. Like say for example, you're in Delhi and you're driving way to Lucknow. Yes, it's a nice long journey, and you're enjoying your journey with your family, you're driving, and when you reach to your relative's house in Lucknow, your relatives ask you that, hey, how was the journey? Did you see this wonderful temple which came on the way? Or, there must be a good landmark or, a good sign which, a good place which comes in the way. And you must have not noticed it. You have just driven your car from your residence to your relative's place in Lucknow. So, from your journey from Delhi to Lucknow, if I say you were, just driving and not observing or not being aware of what you are doing, what would you say? You are physically present, definitely you're driving your car, but mentally you are not aware. You're not aware of the surroundings. Say for instance, you're an example, you're another example is very, very simple. You're when we drive our cars on a highway in US, you're driving say from New Jersey to New York. These are long, nice highways, and most of the times we set our cars in autopilot mode. So autopilot, in a way, we just set our cars in an automatic mode with a gear speed, everything's set, and we drive our car. The speed is set, so we don't have to worry on the speed, and we are enjoying the ride when we go for long drives. So we see we are enjoying because we are in, it's an automated system. So we are doing an activity, you are present at the moment, but your mind is wandering, your mind is wandering into your thoughts. So it's a journey from mindless to mindful. So, what, why, and how? So, here comes the introduction to your mindfulness. We will understand more as to what is mindfulness. We all love reading Wikipedia. If we have to search anything, first thing is Wikipedia. Yes. So, Wikipedia defines mindfulness as the quality or the state of being conscious or aware of something. So, which means it's a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. So, which means that you are doing one thing at a time. You are aware of what you are doing while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So, as per John Kabat-Zinn, who actually, came up with this concept of mindfulness, according to him, mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, which means you are attentive to what you are doing on the purpose in the present moment without judging. Okay, so it's bringing in awareness at the present moment, focusing on one thing at a time, doing one task at a time without judging, and moreover, doing it 100%. You don't do three things at a time, you don't do multitasking, you do one task at a time without judging and focusing and concentrating and bringing your full awareness to what you are doing. So that's what mindfulness is. It is intentionally paying attention, being fully aware of what is happening both inside yourself, in your body, heart, and mind, and outside yourself in the environment. Mindfulness is awareness without judgment. Let's talk more about it with this simple differentiation. Mindful, what do you mean by being mindful and being mindless? Now, here comes the concept of autopilot. As I said, it's a very simple thing. We all get up in the morning. We all have a set of routine of activities which we are doing. Brushing teeth, mommy is busy with kids. One side you keep your tea, one side you're packing your kids' tiffin box. You have n number of activities which are lined up. So, what do you think? Are these activities which you're doing is an autopilot mode or as a non-pilot mode? Autopilot, which means your mind is set to do the particular activity. Say, for example, nowadays you have these robotic vacuum cleaners, which have come up in the market, wherein the robot is being programmed, the vacuum cleaner is being programmed in a way that you just switch it on, say you set a timer of say morning 6 o'clock it will start and it will go, in your room in that particular way you have, programmed it, and it will clean your room and come back to its place. So, which means it is on an autopilot mode, which means you have set a program. A program is being set. So, similarly, when we talk about this concept, we will understand it further ahead. Autopilot mode means we have programmed our mind in a way to do certain set of activities in a particular way. Say for example, if I tell you in the morning, okay, you get up, you brush your teeth, you have your n number of activities, your routine set. And at the same time, if I tell you, why don't you do a meditation for 5 minutes when you get up in the morning? What would you say? Hey, Pooja, I don't have time. It's very difficult for me to incorporate mindfulness in my daily routine because my life is set, my day is set on an autopilot mode. It's non-stop. You really don't give break to your mind. So that's where stress, anxiety, and number of health disorders, high blood pressure, a lot of many things happen. But if you are mindful, what happens is you're aware of your situation, you're aware of your surroundings, you're attentive, and moreover, it improves your overall mood. So, here comes a simple example, another example of what you mean by saying I'm on an autopilot mode. Say for instance, you're eating a snack bar, and you've eaten a couple of times, and after some time you notice that the wrapper of your snack bar is still in your hand. So what do you think? You are eating your activity, you're doing a physical activity, you're definitely eating it. But are you eating it mindfully? Which means, are you aware? Are you attentive while you're eating? Are you, enjoying the taste of it? No, you are just eating it, and you don't even realize that the wrapper still remains in your hand. So this is an autopilot. You're doing an activity without thinking. You're eating, but your mind is wandering somewhere else. Your mind is in some other world. Either you're in your past or in your future, or thinking. Keep on. You're not giving a break to your mind. So you are in an autopilot state. Or say for another example, which I just gave you a couple of minutes back, of driving somewhere from one place to another place, and it's an autopilot mode. You don't realize the journey. You don't remember the journey, rather not realize. You don't remember your journey. You just move from Delhi to Lucknow, but without even remembering. If your relatives ask you, how was your journey? Do you remember your some moments which you have seen? Did you remember this? You remember that in your journey? You will say, no, I just traveled, without being aware, without being, noticing what is there around me, without noticing my surroundings. So that is your autopilot mode, which means you are mindless. You are doing activity without bringing an awareness, attention to your activity or to your particular task which you are doing. And in modern terms, we call it as multitasking. So it's a routine, we do multitasking, we do 10 things at a time. And that's where, anxiousness, anxiety, your stress, and there are, we fumble most of the times. And, we get, it's a simple example, one more example, which most of the mommies may occur, realize this on. We are say around 4 or 5 when our kids come from school, and we are either busy with our work, say we are on a laptop, we are drafting some mails, we are busy on our office calls, and your son comes and say, hi mommy, how are you? You will just say hi, and you will like, okay, fine. And then after 2 3 hours you ask your son, hey, when were you back from school? You did not even wave me hi. So what is happening? You are so busy with your task that you don't even realize that your son has come and he waved you hi. And then even if he does, you'll say, hey, when did you come from school? So you are so busy, we are so busy in our life that we forget what's happening around. We lose our attention. Correct? So that is the current reality, that we are highly distracted with the overloaded of information. As you can see in this picture, you may be working on your laptop, but at the same time, the moment a pop-up comes on your WhatsApp, what happens? Your mind is distracted towards it. Let me see what it is. Many a times we are teaching our children, we sit for studies in the evening with our kids, and somebody calls, or a message comes up, or anything comes up on the phone. With an instant, we leave the study, we leave our child and we look, hey, what's happening? What's there on my message? What's there in the message? Let me see. So, what is it? Do you think it's a mindful activity which we are doing with our child, teaching him, or it's a mindless activity? Definitely, it's a mindless activity. We are not doing it 100%. We are so distracted by our, with our distractions which come along. So, many people, they ask me this, and it's a very common questions or FAQs about mindfulness. Do I need to be mindful 24 by 7? I would say no. Unless you're a monk or, it's very difficult to be mindful. Will mindfulness take me to be a doormat? No. I've been practicing mindfulness for 2 weeks, nothing is working out. That's fine. You need to be patient. You need to be, you need to keep on practicing. And how we will practice, we will understand. Is the aim of mindfulness of totally quitting my mind? No. With mindfulness thoughts and distractions, we still happen. The difference is that you won't engage with them unless you choose to. So, some more questions or challenging? Yes, are mindfulness and meditation the same? Definitely not. Meditation is one. Mindfulness meditation helps in enhancing your meditation. As we have seen with the exercise which we did, wherein I told you, you meditate for 3 minutes with just the music on. So what did you do? Most of us would have just closed your eyes and you would have gone in a deep meditation. But when you closed your eyes, there were n number of thoughts which were coming along your mind. And you would have wandered in your thoughts, which is very, very common. But mindfulness meditation, as we had seen in the second scenario, wherein I read the script, and it was a breath mindfulness meditation, wherein your focus was to be brought on your breath. So again and again, I was telling you, bring your awareness to your breath, take deep breath, feel your breath as in how you take it through your nose. So that's what mindfulness meditation is. That was just one of the examples of mindfulness meditation, wherein it is a form of guided meditation and it helps you in enhancing your meditation, wherein we become aware of what we are doing. So definitely, it can be done anyhow. There's no restriction in religion, bias, nothing. Mindfulness is a practice which brings up an awareness. It awakens our consciousness to be put in us. And yes, I don't feel comfortable. Mindfulness meditation gives me stress. Nothing happens overnight. You don't have to be forced to practice mindfulness. And there are various ways in which we can practice mindfulness. We have formal and informal ways. In some mindfulness practices, mind keeps wandering. Definitely, it will wander. It's common to wander. So we say you start with 5%, 10% on, with bringing mindfulness in your practice. So, how would mindfulness help? And as over the period of time with the awareness and the concept of mindfulness and mental health coming up in all the communities and on social media, mindfulness, not the number of researches which are research which is happening in mindfulness is really lots. I mean, I see every day something or the other research happening in mindfulness. And it definitely, that has been proven scientifically that it improves the mental health, the physical health by relieving stress, lowering blood pressure, reducing chronic pain, improving your sleep, and even reducing your cellular aging. So it makes you feel more, look younger. And it also improves the mind by increasing the amount of gray matter, increasing emotional intelligence, creativity, memory, and focus. So definitely, as you start training your mind, to be mindful, it increases the gray matter in your brain and thereby increases the emotional intelligence, your creativity, and your concentration. You start focusing more. So that's where we will work. We will also learn about mindfulness in youth in our next few slides as we come in. It also improves the well-being by making it easier. Okay, so it improves your well-being. You become more happy. It improves your lifestyle. So, and that's one of the good things of practicing mindfulness. Okay, how do you cultivate mindfulness? I love this slide. I work here as a personal trainer with YMCA, and People come up to me and say that, hey, Pooja, why don't you help me with some personal training? I want to increase my, I want to look good. I want to lose weight. I need to look some and trim. I need to have a good strengthening and in conditioning in my body. So what do we do? When it comes to body gym, what do? We tell them, okay, let's do some weightlifting, let's do some exercises. So what do these exercises do? They strengthen your muscles. Correct? We all go to gym to strengthen your muscles. But how would mindfulness help in this case? Have you all thought about it? Yes. So as we lift weights to strengthen our muscles, we need to, our mind needs attention on, that's the way, that's it said. One of the easiest places to start is to learn to manage our attention. So in terms of mindfulness, our muscle is your attention. So as with any muscle, it strengthens our exercise. We need to bring in attention, we need to bring in awareness within ourselves and try to be more attentive and focused. So that's the key. So if we can only be focused, increase our attention span by practicing mindfulness. Now you will all ask me that how do we practice? As we saw, one was the breath awareness meditation, and it has also been proven in research that it is well known that our brains have the ability to adapt and rewire. That's called as your neuroplasticity. It's a very big topic. Definitely, we will talk about it in one of the sessions ahead. And so, what simple to understand what mindfulness does is mindfulness helps in rewiring your neurological pathways. Okay, so it has the ability to rewire those pathways and work and help your mind to be mindful day by day, every task. So it's like, there will be a particular point once you start practicing mindfulness, there will be a particular point wherein the brain will say, hey, stop, pause, take a deep breath, look at this task, or, look at this emotion and try to analyze that emotion. We have most of these psychologists here, and mindfulness works very well as a cognitive therapy. Okay, that's a cognitive behavioral therapy, and we will work upon that. I will share with you all the research and study material on that, and it works wonders. So it's simple for now to understand. It helps in rewiring your neurological pathways, and you can change the default way that the brain works and have a different experience of your reality through practicing mindfulness meditation. So if we see whether you do mindfulness meditation, mindfulness yoga, these all come under your formal practices wherein we make you do, you sit in one place and you're doing an activity mindfully. You're trying to focus on that particular task. Mind will wander, definitely. It's proven that 47% of the time we are thinking something else than what we are currently doing. I'm sure you all must be agreeing on that. Strong relationship between mind wandering now and being unhappy a short time later. So it's very natural that the minds would produce thoughts and they will wander. Distraction is the key, and to practice mindful meditation, it will definitely happen. So many a times it's a normal thing. I can't meditate because my mind just wanders. Mindfulness doesn't work for me because I can't stop thinking. So we need to accept this fact that the moment you close your eyes, your mind will wander. But the challenge is how we bring back our mind from those thoughts to the present moment. That's what mindfulness is, friends. We need to have a control on our mind in stopping our mind when it wonders that, hey, stop, I'm doing this activity, let me focus on this activity. So, this is what we call training our mind through our mindfulness practices. Yes, so it is completely natural to lose focus when meditating, but it is very important to accept this tendency of the mind, not resist these thoughts and not judge them. That's the reason, when we say, when we are doing any mindful meditation, we always bring in the fact that the thought comes in your mind, that's okay. You don't have to run behind that thought. You need to accept it, not resist it, and neither judge the thought. So, like, sending a mail out or on a field. So, there are n number of things which come up, but just accept it and bring back your awareness to the activity or to the breath or the meditation which you are doing. Now, yes, why do we need mindfulness? Very, very common. We all are mobile phone users, technology users, and a mobile phone user checks almost 100 times his phone per day, which is a true reality. If you see in work office, and on an average, an office worker will check almost 30 times per hour his email. And if you see, the attention span has got decreased. If it was say 12 seconds, we have come up to 20, just 8 seconds. So we are so distracted with the high end technology around us, with mobile phones, with n number of things, especially after COVID. We will have I have a beautiful slide where actually I will show you how COVID has impacted us and how mindfulness has taken a great place in helping people in practicing mindfulness and bringing a big change in their lives. So, yes, 5 ways to work with distraction and mindfulness. You should enjoy the challenge. As I said, if the thought comes, take it up as a challenge, watch it wonder, name where you wonder, move on, and share it with the groups. That's the reason we normally, when we conduct such programs, we have small group sessions, and after the exercise is done, we have a small discussion wherein we interact. We have people interacting with each other, sharing their experiences with the meditation or any kind of mindful practices which they have done, or the thought which came up to their mind and how they helped, how they have challenged that thought and brought it to the present moment. So, as we said, information overloaded with fast paced living, anxiety, stress, and burnout, self deprivation, and exhaustion. Technology changes, yes, all of us are laptop users, and we all work 24 by 7, and where we say we have no time, but we have to make sure that we give time to ourselves, bringing that self confidence, and be self determined rather. Try to bring in self love and say that, hey, I need to control myself. I need to bring a change in myself. If we bring a change in yourself by incorporating mindfulness in our practices, our children, our family will do. It's very sad that children mostly follow their mothers. So it's up to us as parents how we take up, how we manage our life, how we manage our day, and try to avoid doing multitasking and bring mindfulness in our practices. Multitasking, yes, we all do. And in fact, research has said, it's proven that our brain can focus only by doing one thing at a time. Simple versus complex multitasking. Attention switching, doing one thing at a time, is the key. So we need to train our mind in saying that, hey, I need to do one thing at a time. I need to do one task at a time. So that's very, very important. Stress, we all go through stress. Yes, we all have. I don't know how many of us would agree, but whether you're in work or whether you're a normal homemaker, we all go through some kind of a stress in our lives. Yes? Now, when there is stress, what happens? How would your brain respond to the stress? We have, we won't go too much in this anatomy and understand more about it, but then just simple to understand that there is a part of the brain called as amygdala, which is the brain's alarm center, which detects the threat, okay, and starts the stress response. Hypothalamus, it's known as the brain's operation manager. It releases the stress hormones and prepares you to fight or fight for that particular stress. Hippocampus is the brain's biographer. It retrieves the memories from the past and activates what will happen. And the prefrontal cortex, that's the brain's CEO, analyzes the information and designs a response, which means it creates a plan to respond to the stress. So, somewhere down the line, if I say that, when we have stress, what do? We have a technique called as body scan mindfulness meditation, which I will be doing it right now after this slide. There you will realize that what mindfulness, how it helps. So basically, in simple language, I'll say that when you have stress or when you're stressed, mindfulness meditation helps in releasing your tensed muscles, because when you're stressed, the muscles get tensed, right? And that's where your meditation or mindful meditation helps you in releasing those tensed areas in your body. So, stress management, be mindful, notice it's not real. So, we need to understand that when we are stressed or any kind of a situation occurs, when the mind starts wandering, we need to understand that these are just thoughts. That's not the practical reality. These are just thoughts. Mind will wander. I need to take up as a challenge and bring back my attention to my present moment. So, sleep, socialize, connect with people. Now, we will quickly do this body scan mindfulness meditation. It's one of the proven and a wonderful technique to release stress. So, I will again be playing a beautiful audio, and we will have a quick 5 minutes body scan meditation and then moving ahead. Yes, so I hope you all are ready and you enjoy this beautiful mindful meditation. Thank you. So I request all of you to very gently close your eyes and take deep breath. We will just have a quick try for this. It's a nice long 10-15 minutes meditation, but we will just have a quick through it, and maybe after the session we can do it well. So I request all of you to sit in a very, very comfortable position with your eyes closed and take a deep breath. Take a moment to check in with yourself, observing how you're feeling in your mind and body. Try to begin your focus with wherever the sensations are most vivid for you. Try to bring an attitude of curiosity to the practice, as if you are investigating your body for the first time. So, very, very gently close your eyes and take a deep breath and try to look into your body and investigate your body. Notice and feel any and all the kind of sensations that are present at the moment. Either you may be feeling any numbness in your toes, or you may be feeling, tightness, you're feeling cold or heat or pressure. See how you feel and try to bring an awareness to those thoughts and emotions. Whenever you come across an area which is tensed, see if you can try to relax and soften that particular area which is tensed. So, say for example, you're feeling numbness in your toes. Try to relax it. Try to relax or release that tense, release that numbness. Try to soften it. And if it doesn't soften, that's perfectly fine. Simply notice it and allow it to be as it is. Feel as deeply, as precisely as you can. Try to note the sensations. Notice it. Notice any kind of discomforts you are feeling at the moment. And very, very gently try to bring in awareness to your breath again. So in this body scan, the objective is that you are scanning your whole body. You're trying to release the muscle which is tensed, which is giving you stress at that particular moment. You may say, I'm having a headache. So you try to bring in awareness to your head. You try to release that tensed area in your brain with simply inhaling and exhaling. So that's one way of doing this body scan. It's almost a 15 to 20 minutes body scan which we normally do. And people who are interested, you all can reach back to me, and I will definitely today or tomorrow schedule this workshop or a mindfulness body scan meditation. It works really wonders. So I request all of you to please kindly open your eyes, and we will quickly continue with our presentation in understanding more about the topic. So it's one of the techniques, and we normally take an entire session on this. It's called as mindfulness body scan meditation. Okay, and so that's one. So body scan is one meditation technique wherein we help in releasing the tensed area in your body, in that muscle, or it releases the tensed area in your muscles, and that's where it makes you feel more relaxed, and you feel a little more calm, and helps in releasing stress. Coming back to my favorite, yes, COVID pandemic changed everybody's life, especially in children, wherein all of a sudden after lockdown, from going back to school, kids were made to sit in front of their laptops and study. So there was stress, there was difficulty in learning, children couldn't sleep, there was anxiety, stress, depression, frustration, and all that resulted in mental health upset. So which means children started getting more stressed. They were not able to cope up because they were not able to sit in front of the laptop for a long time and study, and that's where troubles happen. So how did mindfulness help in that situation? It helped in stimulating the learning processes by neuroplasticity, as I said, building up, rewiring the neurological pathways for a long term thing. So we started coaching children in mindfulness. We started, having these workshops in schools, in local communities. Like here we have Woodbrook Elementary School. And actually, we did actually, conducted workshops in these schools, helping training the teachers how to practice mindfulness. And today, almost every school has a mindfulness corner or has incorporated meditation and are teaching mindfulness to their students, which means how you can concentrate, how you can focus on your studies by simply just closing your eyes and breathing. So, these are some activities which have been incorporated, and they're very, very important, not only as adults, or not only as we incorporating or we practicing in our lives, but also for children. And with us, we also run a program called as mindfulness in parenting, wherein we train the parents how you need to be mindful, what different steps you can take with your children. Like for example, most of us are have kids. Like I have my son who's 8 and my daughter is 3.5, and at times the house really gets on fire when kids, there's so much of chaos happening. Both of them are screaming, and it's like a mess, and all of a sudden there is no way to calm the kids down. They are too much in the hyper mode, and they're doing activities, and you want to get a homework done from your son. So what could you do? Well, I love is what I do with my kids is I just tell them, okay, let's calm down and let's do some drawing. Let's do some coloring. So that's one way of informal practice, wherein you just tell your kids off, let's come on the table and give them a sheet of white paper. And I'm sure all of us, including children, they love to draw and color. So when we are doing that activity, we do it mindfully. We do that particular activity with, with that task, with that interest, focusing on that task, bringing an awareness to that task and doing it mindfully. And that's where the brain starts calming down. So that's where we are saying that, we try to rewire the neurological pathways is one of the ways wherein we start training our children to be mindful, to start building up those practices which they love, or tell them to do one activity which they love. Say, if you want to get a homework done from your kids, you may say, okay, hey, what did you get for your homework today? Let me see, I would like to do this math sum. Automatically the child, even if he is not interested in doing his homework, he will sit with you and say, hey mama, why, okay, yeah, definitely you can try this sum of mine. So that's the way we can, help our children. Definitely effects of mindfulness in on brain. It helps in, having a good mood. It works with, it improves the cognitive function, and it reduces stress, improves the focus. So that's one aspect in which mindfulness really helps. How can I be mindful? Eat mindfully, notice the sensation, taste, feelings, walk mindfully. It's not like, you're going for a walk with your headphones on, or you come to the gym and, I've seen people, they're going on the treadmill with their headphones on. They don't even realize how many calories they have burned, and they just, be on the treadmill for 30 to 40 minutes. And then you have to literally go and tell them, hey, you stop, your heart rate is increasing, your palpitations are increasing, because they're busy listening to music or watching a good movie on Netflix, on their screens. So that's not called mindful. You need to be mindful with your activity, whether you're doing any exercise, or you're eating, or you're walking, or you're talking to someone. Okay, so we need to incorporate mindfulness in our practices. Definitely, we need to be aware what we are doing, do one thing at a time, being present and with full attention. Formal practices, we said we have already gone through this: yoga, meditation, prayer, any kind of spiritual practices. So the target is, the idea is, the objective is to turn off the pilot mode, stop doing multitasking, and do one task at a time. So close your eyes, if that's one. So mindfulness grounding is simple. Try to focus, take a deep breath, and bring your attention back to the present. So if your mind is wandering, you need to, bring back the attention to its present moment. So take a seat. We have already gone through this. Notice your body, feel your breath. Notice when your mind is wandered, and be kind to your mind wandering. Mindfulness eating versus mindless eating, we do have sessions and activities on this. We in fact do conduct workshops. So if anybody's interested in knowing about this, these are all topics which we take up in 1 day 2 day workshops. And we actually teach how you need to be mindful, how to incorporate mindfulness in eating. Like last week we had this session or workshop in our YMC and the Mind Gym, and it was a wonderful workshop, wherein we had given all our participants a raisin to eat, and we told them, how do you feel when you eat a raisin? How you touch the raisin, you feel it, you sense it, so you are enjoying that particular activity. And at the same time, before I gave them a simple raisin, and I told them to sit in the group and tell them to eat. So they just eat it without feeling the taste, sensing the taste, and that way. So that's where the difference is. When you eat mindlessly, either in eating in front of the TV, eating with emotions, eating full body, many a times we gulp food, so we don't realize what we are eating and how is the taste and stuff. So, or the other option is that what we say is, be mindful while eating. You're eating one bite, you're enjoying the flavor, the taste, and chewing your food properly. So, mindfulness eating cycle: why to eat, when, what, how. Okay. Mindfulness is the moment. Yes, you need to be mindful, pause, observe, ask yourself what is important and what action do I need to take. Clinical research, we have already gone through this. We have a lot of research which has shown that it helps a lot and mindfulness helps a lot in stress, anxiety. It improves the cognitive performance, increases resilience and self-awareness, improves relationship and overall well-being of a person. Goal is to incorporate mindfulness practices, bring openness in your mind, practice strength and engagement. And at times of stress, try to refocus your mind to the present moment very gently. And take mind as a compassionate, talk to your mind as a compassionate elder, and treat him like a friend. And that's how, like the way we train our children, we love our children. I always say you should love your mind. Give your mind some break in your days. Talk to your mind when you're meditating, and try to make him relax, cool, and calm. And if you do so, definitely your mind will be open, it will open up, and it will help you in rejuvenating from all the stress which you have gone through. So focus, present, informally to be focused, use formal practices. So we need to turn off the autopilot mode. That's the goal and motive of mindfulness. So focus on the breathing, notice your attention, don't be judgmental. So how can I have a mindful day? By taking a mindful bath, mindful eating, traveling, breathing, drinking, meditation, walking, and a 10 minutes mindful body scanning before sleep. So there always it is said that never ever sleep with too many thoughts in your mind. Always sleep with a very cool, calm, have a good thought before sleeping. So when you get up, you're nice and fresh. So companies are nowadays, in fact, we have programs which we run on, how to improve mindfulness in workplace, and many of these companies are incorporating mindfulness practices. So techniques is stop, which one of the techniques which we work upon, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, observe your feelings, don't try to judge your feelings, just observe them and proceed. So even when you're driving your car and you see a signal, you see a red light, what do? You pause. But when you're at the signal, you have n number of thoughts which you wonder. So the task is when you are pausing there at the moment, and mind if your mind is wandering, instead of just tell your mind to take a deep breath and relax. So you can just count your 3 breaths, just inhale and exhale, and then as the green light occurs, just proceed. So that's a wonderful way to practice mindfulness even when you're driving. Coming down to when we talk about CBT, that's a cognitive behavioral therapy, we work on a technique called as RAIN, wherein R stands for recognizing the event and the emotion, accepting the experience, investigating with gentle curious attention, and not identification by letting the experience pass. Very important, mindfulness matters in children. Here in US especially, I've seen in Jersey, we are a lot of practices are happening. There are a lot many seminars, workshops which are being conducted, which states that mindfulness practices are required today in children and in youth also. So it helps a lot of research findings have been done, and I have a couple of them. So if anybody is interested, please get back to me. I will share with you all the research findings of good literature on how mindfulness helps in children, in academics, mental health and behavioral health, and in social behavior. Okay, so this is one aspect of mindfulness, and it also helps in academic achievement. Like for example, and it improves your cognitive performance and engagement, decrease stress and depression symptoms, and thus helps in academic achievement. So this is done by focusing, training your child to focus on your studies. Many a times, children are unable to focus on their studies. Their parents come up and say that, hey Pooja, it's very difficult for my child to focus, how can I do that? So that's where we train the children in practicing mindfulness. We have a different program, a different curriculum for them, and we sit with them, incorporate mindfulness, through practices, to different sessions. There is counseling sessions which we do. There are different interventions which we make them do, like practice for 5%. Try to do, read a particular passage, see what you have understood, can you comprehend that passage. So we try to increase their attention span by doing this particular program. So that's where we say that it really helps, in this. And trauma, stress, bullying, nowadays, we say that uh, children are, especially in youth, there's trauma, there is stress. In fact, where we say, like that day I had a parent of one of the parents coming and saying that, hey Pooja, my son is 18, and he goes out with his friends, and many a times they offered him an alcoholic drink, and how do I tell him to stop? So then there we train, you have with this transformational life skills and youth program, as I mentioned, wherein we bring, we train the children, we train the youth in bringing mindfulness and practice by becoming aware. So the moment they see that, something bad is going to happen or something bad has come up, they will try to pause for a minute, look at that particular situation. Say a friend is offering your child an alcoholic drink. Your child, when he's mindful, he will stop. He will look at that particular incident and say other particular situation and ask himself, is this a right or is this wrong for me? So the mind will automatically train him, the mind will automatically stop him from asking him a question, is this right for me or is this wrong for me? So that's where mindfulness practices help, because you start becoming aware, you start becoming more attentive, you start becoming more focused. And if you see if you see that it creates a space changing impulsive reaction. So rather than instantly reacting to that situation, you apply the stop technique which we learned, right? So you're taking a pause, you are thinking at that particular moment, you're trying to analyze that particular situation, whether is this right or wrong, and then you take a response. So this is how your mindfulness works, and what we train to our kids, to our children and youth programs. So this is a simplest way which we can put it as. Without mindfulness, like as I was talking about a friend will come and offer your child an alcoholic drink. Immediately, he will just take the glass and he'll start sipping it without realizing what adverse effect, what kind of an effect, bad it is rather. So with mindfulness, he becomes more mindful, he thinks, and then he responds to that particular situation. So, coming up to Mind Gym by Enlightenment. So, Enlightenment is one of our little small baby. It's actually a spiritual and a wellness center, which has been founded by me and my colleague Nitya Gopal Das ji. So, we have something called as a Mind Gym, which we are running currently in YMCA. Enlightenment has a lot of programs currently by the Mind Gym by Enlightenment. We run an 8 weeks beginners program. We do have small group trainings, transforming life skills in youth, rewire your inner belief system, which is taken by my colleague Nitya Gopal Das ji. We do have counseling corner for adults and youth, and we do conduct corporate workshops for mindfulness at workplace. So these are all different workshops, different sessions, and trust me, learning mindfulness in 1 hour's time is never easy. There's lots and lots of information which I have, would like to share with you, but because of the time crunch, it's a little difficult. But definitely, you all are free to reach back to me. We can conduct more workshops on this, understand more in detail. So healthy body, healthy mind. We all come to gym to take care of ourselves, but definitely it's very important to take care of our minds too. So we run a program here currently with YMCA, that's mindfulness meditation. It's on Saturdays. It's a simple 8 weeks program, wherein we have interventions, we work on counseling part, and also we work on different kind of mindful activities which we do. So this is one of few photographs of our mind gym in an YMCA which we are doing. So we have activities, we do meditation, we have a group discussions, and it's really a nice small group training program which we have. So we learn how to train your attention, do different techniques and how to train your attention. So these are some of the workshops which we conduct. How to keep your blood sugar check by your mindfulness-based stress reduction technique. Then we also learn different ways to calm your mind. Mindful eating practice, we had it last week. So that was a beautiful workshop which we conducted. And actually these workshops can be conducted online too. So you all can reach out to me anytime. We are doing this tomorrow in Mind Gym here. That's mindful stretching. So, it's like as a fitness trainer, whenever, we train our clients, hey, you need to do this exercise. And after they finish their 30 minutes of workout, we make them do a 10 minutes mindful meditation. So that, gives them, that actually regenerates them. And, when they go home, they feel more relaxed and calm. So mindful stretching, mindful yoga, these are all different programs which we run under the Mind Gym by Enlightenment. And my favorite, yes, transforming life skills in youth, which is one of the top rated programs currently. And we have plans to come up here with YMCA. We are currently doing it, but we have, a 6 months program, which we will be doing it online as well as in person. So if anybody is interested in this, please kindly reach back to us. I will quickly take you through what your transforming life skills in youth, the program is all about. This runs on called as the ABC model, which is action, breathing, and centering. So mindful action, breathing, and centering. This is specifically for youths, which we are doing. So this involves both mindfulness moments and holding various postures. We train them how to do mindfulness yoga, mindful, meditation, and different kind of mindful activities, which will increase their insular activity by practicing this yoga and meditation. And also, as we know, that it increases the awareness of body and breath, helping in increasing the self-awareness. So the B is breathing. So how would you breathe? Definitely breathing techniques directly affects your parasympathetic nervous system and thereby activates the relaxation response. So if you see your mindfulness or your meditation acts on a parasympathetic nervous system, the pupils are shrunken, it slows your sleep, you have sleep, you have a nice slow deep breaths, heart slows, and your body is nicely regenerated and relaxed. So C component works on centering ourselves. So many a times we are decentered, which means we are not focused from the current moment. So centering means we become aware of happening what is in the present moment. So that's what the C stands for. So it's awareness, breathing, and centering. Action, breathing, and centering. That's our ABC model. So, what happens when you do mindful meditation? We try to strengthen the part of our brain which is called as medial prefrontal cortex. It's a little more in anatomy, but simple. We strengthen our PFCs. It enables us to, increase our self observation and allows us to choose appropriate responses. The larger the medial peripheral cortex, the more the person has control. So, transforming life skills in youth focuses on all these aspects, trains you through a curriculum which we have designed, and that's almost it's a 4 unit curriculum. We have stress resilience, we have self-awareness, emotion regulation, and you have healthy relationships. It's almost 6 to 8 months program, and we run it thrice a week. Okay, these are all conducted in small group sessions because we have practicals, we have theory. So theory and practical goes hand in hand. So this is just in brief about what we normally cover in Unit 1 when we talk about stress, understanding the stress, recognizing it, how what stresses you. More in detail is there. We have the breakup of we have a proper teaching curriculum on this and how each unit has been designed. So if anybody is interested, any of the counselors are interested or coaches are interested, you all can reach back to me and we shall discuss on this in more detail. We also have Unit 2, which we talk about self-awareness and building awareness of your breath, connection between breath and emotions, thoughts, reviewing and reteaching. So every unit, after we are done, we have an assessment. Once we see that the student has completed the assessment with that particular, standards which we are expecting, then only we move on to Unit 2. So it has theory and practicals, and the child has to have a required particular percentage in order to move on to the next level. And as I said, it's more of practical training, understanding training. So definitely we want 100% achievement to move to the next level. And Unit 3, we work on emotion regulation, using tools how to calm you down, being with emotions, practicing in making choices. As I said, one of the examples was alcohol. There could be n number of examples which children are normally triggered, and how you need to train your child, how the student needs to work or decide when a trigger comes to him and he's been triggered by a particular thing. That's where we train him, centering yourself and bring back yourself, think twice before you take up any decision. That's where we talk about stimulus, mindfulness, and then response. So fourth is building healthy relationship. Yes, understanding your habits, what karma means to you, how you can have a good culture, how we all are connected, and strengthening yourself to strengthen your community, reviewing and teaching. So tips, kindness and compassion are the key. Live fearlessly, don't have any fear. If you have fear, try to analyze the situation, look into your fear, and then break up that fear, understand what it is, become aware, attentive, and then move. So practice mindfulness is the key. And number of resources, we have references which I have taken in preparing the presentation. You can reach out to me for this. Be kind to yourself, practice mindfulness, and be kind and have fun. Drop the judgment and just observe. There is no right, there's no wrong. Think it as a gift to yourself each time you do something mindful or a mindful practice, and try to bring curiosity in practice. So, yes, nothing is more precious than being in the present moment. Enjoy your life to the fullest. The miracle is not to walk on water, the miracle is to walk on the green earth. Walk on it, take around and take a walk around, without wearing your footwear. Enjoy, feel how the earth is, and enjoy every moment of your life. So, if anyone has questions, we are open to question answer discussion. And thank you, practice mindfulness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am. It was so insightful and like 1 hour, 10 minutes passed, and still I'm thinking like it's only 5 minutes have gone.
Oh my God, okay. Thank you so much.
No, it's like the topic is realization in the here and now is very, very, it is insightful actually.
Mm-hmm. Thank
What you
you.
said, each and every word, it means a lot. Like after pandemic, each and everyone should go for mindfulness.
Correct. Correct. Nowadays,
You
that's what I said. In fact, schools, we are getting so many, from different communities, not only in schools, but, like we have got YMCA, we have got so many gyms or so many wellness centers where they need these mindfulness practitioners to come and conduct these programs. So we do it for corporates because corporate stress, anxiety, and the number of, I should not be saying this, but suicidal cases are increasing because people are unable to cope up that stress. They're unable
Right,
to think, or for that matter, even teenagers. When we do these youth programs, I've seen so many moms coming and telling me that Pooja, my child gets triggered very fast. Can you take up
right,
counseling sessions for him? One
right,
parent came to me and said that, hey, my child has got he's autistic. Help him with counseling. And it actually does because we, as counselors, we need to understand the child's psychology, go into
right,
that depth, and it's not just the formal way of interaction, but treat him as your own child and then
right.
build in. So that's where we are there to help as coaches or as counselors.
Very nice. It is very needed actually. Most of the people are not aware of what is actually mindful.
Correct.
Why, how they can do it, how can they get actually the help from the right direction, they don't know. Actually, it is very needed.
And
And what
people
you are
heard about
outstanding.
it, but they're not practicing it. See, it's everybody knows mindfulness is. There is something called as mindfulness, but how many of us actually practice it?
True.
That's what the percentage matters.
Right.
Awareness is there. If you see social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere there are sessions, relationship building. You see divorce cases. One lady
True.
came up to me some time back and she says, Pooja, I recently have a divorce and I want to come up with the session. And I actually started training her, wherein the moment I told her to close her eyes, she started, having tears in her eyes.
Right.
And trust me, it took her 8 months. And today that lady practices mindfulness meditation 20 minutes without even a single tear in her eyes. So that's how we have helped, we as coaches, we as counselors, we as practitioners, we have helped them in coming out of those emotions. So, and I think we need to have, such awareness programs,
True.
keep on having such workshops so that it is beneficial for the society. Yeah.
100%, 100%. So thank you, Pooja ma'am, for your valuable time and your experience that you shared with us. And I hope that it will help to everyone, those who want actually.
Thank you.
And like you have shared your number also, I'll also share your number, those who want to
You can
connect
share
with
your
you.
email ID. Yes, I can even share my email ID in the chat. So
Yes, sure.
if anybody has any questions or if anything is there, you all can reach out to me. I'm always approachable, so I'll be really happy if anyone has questions or want to know more about the TLS program, the curriculum, because that is something which is really is the need of the hour. And we are actually doing it a lot, whether people are from whether they are in India or in US, but this is something, it's an upcoming program for enlightenment. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for your
Thank
valuable time. We hope to see you again and again
thank
so
you
that
so
you can help
much.
those who need actually.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you
Thank
so much for the
thank
opportunity.
you. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.